live from the Magic Mile, the New Hampshire Motor Speedway in Concord, New Hampshire, as the National Sim Racing League welcomes you to round number 22. It's the Loudon 201. We are just 5 races away from the playoffs, and things continue to heat up. Good evening, friends. Marty Sakala with you. So glad you could join us for live coverage on the National Sim Racing League Facebook page and on twitch.tv/Marty Sakala. Join me inside the booth this evening is a man that has pretty much, whenever he has raced this season, has had pure dominance. He's made 6 starts and has 6 wins. Ashton Crowder joins me in the booth this evening. Ashton, good evening. This should be a fun one at New Hampshire. Always a crazy short track no matter what happens. But when it comes to the corners here, what's going to be happening for the drivers to survive? I think a lot of them are saying it's going to be a pedal fest.
First and foremost, thank you for having me. It's kind of last minute, so hopefully I don't, crash and burn too bad here. But yeah, it's going to be real tough, especially in the 3. There's a lot of really heavy bumps in the braking zones, so it's going to be really tough for these drivers to get it right. And the ones that do get it right are going to, reap the rewards really well. Landon Lacey seems to have it pretty good so far. He's up by almost 2/10 in qualifying. So.
Absolutely. Landon Lacey, let's talk about him continuing his dominance of these past few races that he has started in while he's ineligible for the playoffs. He did pick up, though, his first career NSRL win last week. A feel-good moment. Won, I believe, if I recall correctly, won stage number 1. Didn't win stage 2, but then made a great comeback and took the 3rd stage. He could be a contender once again, and I think we're going to expect another duel between Landon Lacey and Mark Sikosi, but don't count Josh Susi out.
Yeah, Landon and Josh, I believe, are teammates, so that's going to be a big story to see how they work together, see if they work the restarts and get that one good. Kayla McCarthy's another one of their teammates, and she didn't qualify up to this point. She may qualify a little bit later, but yeah, Landon and Mark, from what I heard, I didn't get to watch it, but I heard they put on a show, and that's what we're looking for tonight. We're looking for some good racing here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Absolutely. Currently waiting for 3 drivers to qualify at the moment. We'll try and get this up here on your screen. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties at the moment, so while we are at it, we will step aside here real quick and hopefully get them settled by the time the green flag flies. Stay with us. It's the National Sim Racing League Cup Series from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We'll be back. We'll get the intro queued up for you. Stay with us. All right, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. We apologize for those technical difficulties. Appreciate all of your patience in helping us out with that. Qualifying is in the books, so we get ready to take the green flag. Under a minute to go, nobody will be able to take time for their first lap in qualifying. So Landon Lacey is on the pole with a 29.917, the only driver that was able to hit the 29-second range. So we will see how he does tonight. And we're 20 seconds away from giving you the starting lineup. A nice field here tonight, Ashton. 24 drivers are set to take the green flag.
Yeah, NSRL always has really good fields. One of the many reasons why I love racing in here. Gives you more of a official type feel to it. Strategies play out a little bit differently, and I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight. Heard the first stage is at 45, so should be able to easily make it on fuel there. But it's gonna be tough for these guys. It's not gonna be easy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's give you your starting lineup for tonight's event. It is Landon Lacey and Mark Sikosi on the front row. Josh Susi and Daniel Menzies make up row number 2. Top 4 in the 53, 91, 12, and 9. Row number 3, it's Dylan Clark in the 34 and Briggs Swope in the 7. Row number 4, Jimmy Barr in the 81 and Brian Wiggins in the 1. Row 5, Tyler Isley in the 17 and Ryan Broderick in the 5. Row number 6, that's David Salter in the 88 and Justin Diltz in the 19. Row number 7, Robbie Bites in the number 28 and Stan Mayberry in the 99. Row 8, it's Kyle Milliken in the 42 and David Smeel Jr. in the 29. Row 9, Brian Preslar in the 67 and Jeffrey Cox in the 45, making his NSRO debut. And rounding out the top 20, that is Josh Aaron in the 77 and Tyler Rush in the 27. Row 11, Alex Robinson and Kayla McCarthy. And rounding out the field for tonight, Alan Crowell and Tom Para make up row number 12. As we get set to take the green here tonight, let's give you your weather report. Set on the real-life date of January 12th, 2022 at around 12:41 p.m. Track temp is at 82 degrees. The air temp is at 79. Normally here, Ashton, a cooler track temp than we normally see at New Hampshire. If it's hotter, that means it's going to be slick, but with the 82 degrees track temp, what's that going to mean for the drivers out there tonight?
It's definitely going to be easier on the tires. With it being colder, you can push them a little bit harder and get away with it. But it's going to be a little bit harder to hang on to on exit because that added grip means you're going faster, so the car's ability to break away is a lot quicker. So they're really going to have to manage that, and you'll see that early into the runs when the left side tires aren't really up to pressure.
That's something we know.
Probably gonna be pretty sketchy.
That's something we saw a lot of last week at Gateway. A lot of drivers trying to gas it a little bit too early on the exits of the corners. New Hampshire, a lot similar to Gateway. This time it's just a little bit smaller for New Hampshire, just 1 mile around, but it's just nearly a completely flat surface.
Yeah, the flatter it is, the less you have to work with too. So that, it's really important to wait till you're straight to get full throttle, and that's gonna be where a lot of the gains are made up here for these guys.
Banking ranges from 2 to 7 degrees in the corners and seats 88,000. Pace car is in. Sikosi and Lacey, the front row. It is showtime from New Hampshire.
Really good jump by Landon there in the 1. It's going to be easily clear. Already pulling out a lead. Expect these guys to kind of just settle in there for a little bit and see what they got going on.
Absolutely. Early on, Susi makes the pass on Sikosi to take away third position. Dylan Clark riding in fourth spot. Daniel Menzies rounding out the top 5. A lot of drivers with surprising qualifying efforts. I think these two guys, these three drivers, I should say, on your screen, very surprising to see up there in pole position caliber or front row caliber. Daniel Menzies, Briggs Swope, and Brian Wiggins. Surprising qualifying runs by these guys. Perhaps their best of the year. Caution flag is out for the first time. Oh, big wreck. Milliken, Aaron, McCarthy, Tom Para. And this is going to be huge for a lot of drivers early. Because remember, no quick repairs in this series.
Yeah, we used to rely on those quick repairs pretty heavily and then took them away and started getting a lot more nervy out there. But going down into 1 there is Kyle Milliken. He just pushed it really hard, got on the really flat down in the first lane. Realized they have PJ1 there. They can kind of make that work. Here we don't.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, man. He, controversial, but he didn't have any grip down there and it just went around on him. That's what I was talking about with the left side tire pressures. You can't really make that work early on.
Yeah, there you see it in real time. Maybe it seems like he put a little bit too much brakes in, and then around she went. That's what we've seen similar in the past. As you see, Josh Aaron and Kayla McCarthy, nowhere to go in the accident. That's what we saw early here. Let's ride on board with Justin Diltz here. You saw Milliken get loose. And nowhere to go for the driver of the 19. Let's go to Kayla McCarthy in the 24. And she just lost the rear end simply. This was pretty much a second different cause of this wreck.
Yeah, it seemed like she tried to, you know, maybe, I can't say for sure, but that may have been her just kind of spinning to avoid there. Figured it was just safer for her to go around than it was to follow her way through that. But either way though, still don't like it when you get turned around. Got a lot of damage from that too, so
Absolutely.
didn't really work out in her favor, sadly.
Definitely. A couple of drivers in the pits early on repairing damage. Stand by the way, while we have the user interface up. We are our live timing these past few weeks, and this has been a situation affecting everyone. We've been having some technical difficulties throughout the week, so we're just trying to get everything figured out here as we go. So 1 lap to green. Let's reset the field here for you on this restart. It is Landon Lacey and Josh Susi in row number 1. Row 2, Mark Sikosi and Dylan Clark. Row 3, Daniel Menzies and Briggs Swope. Row 4, Brian Wiggins and Tyler Isley. Rounding out the top 10, Ryan Broderick and David Salter. They get ready to come into the Speed Demon Setups restart zone. Landon Lacey is the control car. And he can go right there at that line. And there he goes. We're back to green.
Got another really good jump there.
Clears Susi into turn 1. Dylan Clark and Mark Sikosi for third. I think Sikosi slid up just about half a group, but they still go at it for third spot. Meanwhile, behind them, some great racing going on. Everyone trying to get tucked in line early.
Yeah, big thing to note, if Dylan can get into P3 there, that's going to lock out the first 3 positions for, I believe, KTS. And, oh, we got a car around.
And that may be McCarthy in the 24. No caution, though. We stay green. She did queue up on the radio.
It was Tyler Isley going around there. Just got pushed a little bit by Brian Wiggins, and he's got a lot of damage to that 12 car. Or 17 car, my bad.
Taking a look here at the 17. I don't see anything really too serious. Oh, there is some left side damage. You see the paint is scuffed on the door. So that's not good early on here, especially for a short track. I mean, if it was Bristow or Martinsville, it wouldn't really matter. But New Hampshire, you've got a little bit more speed.
Yeah, this track, engineering-wise, plays out like a short track with brake ducts and everything like that. There's a lot of discussion on if it is a short track or not, but with the speeds that they're getting here and how long the straightaways are, the aero really does matter a lot. These cars are a little less susceptible to aero damage and aero effects that way.
Oh, trouble. Kayla McCarthy has crashed it. And we're under caution. Justin Diltz has lost the front end. His night likely is done. And not good for both drivers early here. This McCarthy with more damage than she suffered in the first, both of them. And look at that. She's lost the rear end on the number 24 machine. This is not good for both of them early.
Yeah, she was just pushing hard off of 4 there, and things snapped around on her and put it in the wall, sadly. It's really easy to do with these cars, not having the side force. You don't realize how reliant you really are on that.
Oh, man. It's like she tried to overcorrect it on the replays. Alan Crowell was also involved in that wreck. We'll have to take a look at the onboard with McCarthy once we get there. Let's watch from another angle, though. It's just like the thing just snapped. There's Milliken that's also involved, but the worst damage goes to McCarthy and Diltz. We're going to take a ride from the helmet cam of Kayla McCarthy and watch the wheel closely. Yeah, just a little bit too much of an overcorrection. which I honestly think here, Ashton, it's easier to do in iRacing than the Gen 6 car.
Yeah, it's especially here. So this track is one that's very unique, where it has more vertical loading on the straightaways than it does in the corners most cases. So car loads up and unloads very abruptly and honestly really awkwardly. It's, I mean, it's almost impossible to predict sometimes. And she was in that unloading zone, we'll call it. And like I said, it's pretty much impossible to predict what it's going to do, and you just kind of have to hope that you're pointed where you need to be and you're going to be able to get full throttle and come off. And if you miss it by a centimeter, that can be the difference. And I would say that's what you saw there for sure.
There you see on track the number 16 of Tom Pera, currently in 18th position right now, normally a back marker in this series. However, though, a couple weeks ago at Iowa, finished 5th after missing all the chaos. Remember, that was the first race that had no quick repairs. So seeing Pera up in the front was really cool to see. Currently in 18th position, is made his way up 6 positions, is currently tied amongst a 4-way for biggest movers early. Let's take a look at them out at the moment. Brian Preslar currently up 6 spots from 17th. Jeffrey Cox up 6 spots from 18th. Tyler Rush is up 6 spots from 20th. And Tom Pera up 6 spots from 24th. So we should be getting the 1 to go signal when we come back to the green flag. Yet to see a really big long run in this race. Hopefully we can see it right here. McCarthy and Aaron with long stops. Justin Dilch was able to get back in time, only with some optional damage, I believe. McCarthy had required damage. Yeah, look at Dilch. That's going to be interesting. However, though, I'll give you a fun fact here. We have seen cars without a front bumper drive successful. Dylan Clark finished 4th last week at Worldwide Technology Raceway without a front bumper. Looked like a modified.
I wish I could have seen that.
It was pretty crazy. Didn't have the car to win, though, but it was impressive. All right, so we are ready to go back to the green flag. 13 laps go up on the board this time by. It is Landon Lacey and Josh Susi, the front row. Dylan Clark and Mark Sikosi in row number 2. Row 3, Daniel Menzies and Briggs Swope. Row 4, Brian Wiggins and Ryan Broderick. Rounding out the top 10 is David Salter and Robbie Bice, teammates.
Yeah, that front 3 right there, they're going to get what we call a countdown. Give them 1, 2, 3, and go. See them break away pretty quickly here.
And there goes Lacey back to green, but Susi may have been caught sleeping. That allows Dylan Clark to take the 2nd position without warning from Susi. Ooh, not just yet, though. Susi fought back and keeps P2 nearly 3 wide behind them as Rick Swope gets the advantage on the outside line. Looking for 5th position, and behind him, Ryan Broderick. And then Daniel Menzies, Robbie Bice going to work. Look at that. That is a flurry of dodges, a myriad of dodges into turn number 3. It's crazy.
Didn't even realize they were dodges until you said that. That's pretty dang cool.
It's impressive what you can do on trading paints, turn forwards into dodges.
I'm going to have to do some research into that. That is a development I like to see. But I just want to mention real quick, Ryan Broderick, man, did not get much practice time. And he's already made up 4 positions. Track really hard to pass at, and he's doing a great job in the Kyle Larson number 5. You know, I'm really impressed with Ryan. He's always really competitive. I don't know if he's going to win yet this year, but
he's come
only
close.
A matter of time. It's only a matter of time for him.
Yeah, nearly won at Iowa a couple weeks ago, but got chrome horned by Mark Sikosi in the final lap. Car just struck the wall. I think that was Bice in the 28, as Daniel Menzies takes advantage of that for 7th position. Bice has some right side damage to his number 28, but I probably just only skid the paint, so he should be good. But that puts Wiggins up to 8th. And how about Jeffrey Cox in the number 45 Maxwell House machine? his first ever start in the National Sim Racing League, and he's already made his way up to 9th spot.
That's right. He's I would say probably the biggest mover so far by a
He
long
is.
shot. Maybe Tyler Rush is right there too, but either way. Oh, we got a car around. David. Oh no, the two Dodgers get together.
And that is David Salter in the number 88. That is involved. And I think that is a solo car accident that was triggered by iRacing. So we'll take a look and see what brought the yellow out here. Ashton said that two Dodges came together. Ooh, Salter just got a little bit loose and entering turn 3. Maybe a little bit too much brake that sent the rear end a little bit of wheel hop.
Yeah, he was a little bit overzealous, I'd say, trying to pull off that slider there. Went all the way down to the yellow line. You can make that work sometimes, but it's one of those moves. It's way more sketchy than you think it's gonna be. And if you commit too much, you know, you're gonna send yourself for a ride, and it's exactly what you saw right there. But you know, I feel like if he's gonna try to pull off that move in the future, he'd probably put the brake bounce more forward, get some more front bite off of that. But either way, just a little bit of damage. I don't think it's gonna hurt him too bad, so
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be too worried.
Teammates involved in that one. So we'll take our first break of the evening. Landon Lacey's led them all so far at New Hampshire.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
We're back here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway underneath our third caution of the evening. There you see your top 5 as we are set to go back to green for the restart. Reset the field for you. Landon Lacey and Josh Susi are on row 1. Lacey selects the inside line. Dylan Clark, Mark Sikosi in row 2. Briggs Swope and Ryan Broderick in row number 3. Row number 4, that is Jeffrey Cox and Daniel Menzies. In row 5 is Brian Preslar and Tyler Rush. Here they come into the Speed Demon Setups restart zone. Back to green.
Another huge jump by those teammates right there. Dylan Clark's gonna let Susie in by way of the gentleman's rule. They got set up there. Are broken out to a pretty good lead here.
So Lacey holding serve. Briggs Swope took a peek on Cox for the 6th position. And now teasing on Broderick for 5th spot. See what he can do with that number 45. Nothing really just yet. Swope closing in inch by inch for 6th. That's your best battle on the track.
Now, I just want to mention again, though, Ryan Broderick. I mean, he's just poking away at it. He's putting together a really solid race thus far. It's still early, but I mean, he's just taking his time, being patient, and picking them off one by one, and that's all you can expect from a young driver.
Absolutely. Started from the 10th position and has made his way up to 5th. So an impressive start early from the driver of the number 5. Close battle for 14th as Brian Wiggins gets by Tyler Ricey and David Salter, who's recovering off of that spin.
It's going to be tough for Tyler to get back up to where I know he wants to be, but, you know, it's only lap 24 out of 201, so he's got more than enough time to get back up there.
Jeffrey Cox recently just lost the position. Here comes Menzies inside. They nearly get together in the corner. Let's ride on board with the number 9. Daniel Menzies on his setup, only using 4 gears of the 5 gears that are available. But Menzies pulls up to the inside. Up on the rev limiter. Now, there's a couple of different opportunities drivers can do in setups. You can either go on 4th gear and just keep it right there, or you can adjust your gear ratio and have an opportunity to go up to 5 gears. But could we maybe see some downshifting tonight, down to 4?
I'd say definitely a possibility. I don't know how much it would really give you a benefit. Maybe the extra engine braking would be good. Oh, we got
Jeffrey Cox.
Ilcock.
He is
Man.
off track on the back straightaway. Kept it straight. Go ahead.
Yeah, he just took the road course there. No biggie. A little bit of a detour. It happens.
He found the secret track. It's like Harry Potter when he finds like a magic path. I don't know. I've never seen Harry Potter.
You've never watched Harry Potter?
I've never watched Harry Potter. I wasn't a Harry Potter fan as a kid. It just didn't give me interest.
All right, look, I'll just act like I didn't hear that. But, you know, looking back up front, though, gonna talk about my man Landon Lacey. All right, he's in the lead, and I know when somebody's in the lead by a good bit, it may look easy. But that's probably the hardest place you will ever be on a racetrack is in the lead, because you have to be the one to set the pace, work your tires correctly, and just make sure that you are setting yourself up for greatness later in the run without having any other reference points off of anyone else.
Trouble, caution flag, Stan Mayberry's around.
Looks like he took the road course too.
He did. Oh, he's got heavy left side damage to his 99 machine. We're hearing maybe Brian Wiggins was involved too. Wiggins had some right front damage, just came back onto the track. Tough break for Mayberry. You know, last week had a great finish to his debut. Finished 5th. A little bit controversial, though, as he bumped Ryan Broderick for a position. But got a 5th place finish. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happened. Oh, he lost it off at 2, and Wiggins is just a passenger with nowhere to go. They slid off and nearly hit the same wall that Tony Kanaan hit in New Hampshire when he flipped in an IndyCar.
I mean, what an interesting stat there.
Because we know when drivers spin out, they normally spin out in that area.
Yeah, it's right off the exit. As soon as the car starts to load itself back up, when it's in that sort of phase of unloading to loading, or loading to unloading to loading, it I mean, like I was mentioning earlier in the night, it's pretty much impossible to predict. So that's where you're gonna see a lot of these spins come from, and people could say it's from a lack of talent, whatever, but it's really just it is so hard to predict that coming.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time you're turning off the wall too, and it just makes it 10 times worse. And that's what you saw right there from Stan. It's just wrong place, wrong time, really.
Absolutely. So, we have a change in the lead. Josh Susi has taken the lead. We have heard that a couple of drivers decided to pit under the yellow. Landon Lacey is one of them, along with Mark Sikosi, Brig Swope, Daniel Menzies, Brian Preslar, Jimmy Barr, David Smeal, Robbie Bice, Jeffrey Cox, Alan Crowell, Brian Wiggins, Alex Robinson, Josh Aaron into the pits as well. So this will be very interesting. As top 6 have stayed out, they are currently on 30-lap worn tires, and we've got 2 laps until we get the green flag here. So Landon Lacey will have an advantage by about 31, 32 laps, but the thing is he only has about 13 laps to try and get to the lead, because that's when stage 1 ends.
Yeah, that's a very interesting strategy call. He's not going to have to pass, a ton of cars. But I don't know. I feel like I would have stayed out there.
Yeah,
I don't really know what their fall off was, but you would assume just safety-wise you'd want to stay up front. But
yeah,
have to see how it works out.
absolutely, I agree. We'll see what happens there too. And this is a track that kind of favors tires as well over track position. I can't remember the last time New Hampshire was repaved, if it ever was repaved. I'm not too sure.
If this track has been repaved any time, like near this this scan, I'd be surprised. This thing looks pretty worn.
Yeah, absolutely. So ready to go back to the green flag. 13 laps to go in stage 1 when we get there. Let's reset the field here for you. First off, to the top 6 that stayed out. Josh Zusi, Dylan Clark, row 1. They seem like they're going to have a big advantage. Same with maybe Ryan Broderick and Tyler Rush. David Salter, Tyler Isley in row number 3. And then Landon Lacey, Tom Para, row 4. Briggs Swope and Mark Sikosi round out the top 10. Let us know, by the way, where you are watching from, who you are rooting for in chat tonight. Our race control guy is bored, so we decided to hop in chat and say that we sound excited, excellent, really enjoying it. Thanks for the support there, Chris, as always.
Thank you, Chris.
Josh Susi fires in the Speed Demon setups restart zone, back to green. And a nice restart there from Dylan Clark as well. Held serve with Susi, but Susi comes down and keeps control at the point. Ryan Broderick was trying to get third there off of Tyler Rush, but nothing as Lacey goes side by side with one of the Dodges down the back straightaway.
Definitely want to keep your eyes glued to Landon Lacey here.
Oh boy, Isley into Broderick. Can Ryan save it? There's history. He stops it on track, and that brings the yellow out. A great save from Broderick, but remember, there is history between the two. Let's listen in.
Was fucking as low as I could go without spinning around, hitting that fucking seam where it'll spin you automatically. So I don't know what else he wanted.
Isley understands that, there's nothing he could do about it. He was as low as he could go. Broderick hasn't said anything.
We can talk about it after the race if he wants to.
Isley says they'll talk after the race. Right now,
If he hits me, race controller's going to be problems. I didn't touch him.
right now for Ryan Broderick, all we are hearing out of his radio is crickets.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah,
to be honest.
probably. Let's look at the replay here.
Yeah, from my point of view, it just looked like Isley tried to push really hard to try to make some sort of move, and he got into Ryan.
Yeah, I think he definitely did drive it in a little bit hard. Let's see if we can have it onboard from the rear end of Broderick. There's Isley to his right. There's that little contact, but you got to give major props to Broderick. He even kept that thing out of the wall.
I mean, to get away with that with 0 damage, that's pretty crazy.
Here's the aerial shot. This will give you a nice shot of how close Ryan Broderick was. Wow, and kept it. Oh my goodness! Let's get. You know what? We're gonna watch from a drone shot. We've got. Thank the technology is involved in iRacing. We're able to have drone cams. Take a look at that. That may have been netcode too. I don't know, but look at. Oh my! Let's pause it. Let's go back a couple of frames. Couple of frames here, right there. Let's stop it. We're going to watch some other angles, go to some other angles, and just pause it. How close is he? Look at that, right there with the right rear suspension. Just about to touch the safer barrier. You can see where it's a little bit invisible, but there's the concrete wall to the left. I wish I had a telestrator like John Madden, God rest his soul. But that is how close he is. That's incredible. Trying to see if there's any other close. Look, oh, that's the perfect angle from the chase. Look at that. Do you see that there, Ashton?
Yeah, I mean that's about as close as you're gonna get without, banging the wall down. It's one of those moments where you'd rather be lucky than good. I feel like.
Yeah.
That's slip
impressive.
a little bit more than that, you're gonna be in the wall. So, yeah, he's got to be feeling probably pretty upset that he got spun there, but hopefully he's a bit relieved they didn't get any damage out of that. I know I would be.
Yeah. Absolutely. Now, if he tries to gas it at the moment, tries to keep it straight, I think that car is going around and coming down into traffic at the same time.
Yeah, he definitely chose the really safe move. I know the guys around him are probably pretty pleased with him on that one. It's really easy for you, try to word this correctly. It's pretty easy for the drivers to worry about saving their car more than not taking out other people, but he did both in a very safe manner. That should add a couple respect points to everybody's tally on Ryan.
Ready for the restart. Josh Susie, Dylan Clark, row 1. Tyler Rush, Landon Lacey in row 2. David Salter, Briggs Swope, row number 3. Row 4, Mark Sikosi and Daniel Menzies, if he can get his way up there. That's your top 8. We're ready to go back to green for 8 laps to go in stage number 1. And Josh Susie goes ASAP.
Yeah, he went ASAP Rocky on that one. He is way away. That's going to give Landon a pretty good chance at catching Susie here. I don't know if he'll pass him because of stage points, but if he is going to, he's in a really good position right now.
Yeah, that makes me think. Do you think that yellow really helped him? Didn't really help him out because of the laps the green flag laps that were cut down because of the spin from Broderick?
Yeah, it definitely doesn't help too much. It could have helped him though to close the delta to the leader. Oh my gosh, that's a big move.
Yeah.
Close the delta up to the leader. Really all you care about in motorsports is delta to other cars. And we got a car in the inside wall.
Ryan Wiggins. Oh, that's a hard shot to the inside wall. No caution as iRacing won't detect it on the apron. See if we can get a quick look at what happened with Wiggins. See if it doesn't bring the yellow out. And he is good. We stay green. Here's a quick shot of what happened. Lost it off of turn number 2. And boom, into the guardrail. And eventually clips the tires. Oh, trouble. Daniel Menzies has crashed it in the number 9. And he is on the apron, and that brings the caution out. And now we're going to have to see if that is the stage per race control. Oh, man, almost spun it right in front of Mayberry.
Chris, that should be a restart with like 1 or 2 to go, right?
It's going to be
Here
really
we go.
close here if it is the stage.
Listening.
Is that stage race control?
We're waiting to hear. I think it would be staged. I'm not too sure, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be the stage, end of stage 1.
So that is stage 1 in the books. So that gives stage 1 another stage win on the year to Josh Susie in the number 12 car. But now let's take a look at what... Actually, we're going to watch pit stops here first before we take a look at the replay and see what happened to Daniel Menzies. You see all your favorite drivers, the front runners, I should say, that are in the pits on the bottom of your screen, the first 4. Special thanks to SDK Gaming for the live timing and really definitely helping us out whenever we have any questions or concerns. 4 tires and fuel for all drivers, no surprise. Tom Paris says hello from 16th at the time. And Joe Burgess says, hate that I missed this race. Susie wins the race off pit road, followed by Lacey. Clark beats out Rush, and then 5th is Mark Sikosi. Now let's go to the replay and see what happened to Daniel Menzies in the 9.
So, got a question for you, Marty.
Yes.
Do we usually interview stage winners?
It depends on what track it is.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So I think what happened was here with Menzies, and we'll ride on board with him. Oh, man, that still is a little bit scary for Menzies. Watch on board with Menzies in the 9 and why this triggered the yellow flag. You see, he's good, he's good, he's good here. He's got it in the grass where the yellow doesn't come out. But it's when he tries to come back on the apron, that car goes by. I think that was Isley that triggers the yellow flag from iRacing. So Briggs Swope is the race leader. Stage 1 is done. When we come back, we will have the restart to begin stage number 2. Stay with us from Loudon. We just came back to green flag racing here at Loudon, and Briggs Swope is the race leader, followed by Jeffrey Cox in second. Oh, trouble behind them, and we got a couple of cars scattering around, and also involved is Para. That's the 28 of Robbie Bice, as the yellow is out once again. I think, is that Wiggins? Nope, that's Bice. There's Para. I think it was just a 2-car accident where drivers were just scattering throughout. And I think Bice has more damage. Yeah, he has towed that thing to pit road. And that is likely his night. Bice was the first driver we saw that went sideways.
Yeah, Bice and Landon got together there.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look in real time and see what happened. That was before that was after the yellow, completely after the yellow. This may be it right here as we come back here. You're right. Lacey and Bice got together, so there's some front end damage to Lacey. There's Pear with nowhere to go. So this was a 4-car melee. There was another car. That's McCarthy in the 24. That was also involved. Let's watch from that other shot we were watching off of turn number 2. We did also hear that another driver went off the track. That car behind us, that was Wiggins in the 1 and came back onto the track. We're going to watch Wiggins here first on the onboards. Almost got hit from Para. Oh, pancaked it. Pancaked the left side of the wall. Big lick.
Yeah, that's what we call massive.
Yes, that is correct. Massive. This is from Bice. And let's go from Para. If we can get it here. Here we go. Had absolutely nowhere to go on the outside. However, though, there was a lot of room where he could have gone to the bottom of the track if he could have just drove it really hard. Just gone off the gas and then just, boom, put it to the left. Unfortunately, he could not do it in time. So as we continue pit stops here, Brig Swope is in the race lead. I gotta check and see when the last time was that Brig led a race. You have to go back to Chicagoland on October 13th. So these are his first laps that he has led in 10 races. So that's pretty cool to see.
It's always really great to see new leaders and have more competitive fields at the front. Pointy end is always really pointy, as we say. But the more people that are in contention, the better. So it's really good to see that.
Daniel Menzies' dad, Danny Menzies, said you should not be able to drive through other cars on pit road. Pull out and clear the car in front of you. I wish we could see that too. That's just iRacing though, unfortunately. All right, ready to go back to the green flag. We'll put 49 laps up on the board this time. It is Brig Swope leading Ryan Broderick. That's the front row. This time Swope selects the outside line when we come back to green. Row number 2 is Tyler Rush and Tyler Isley. Row 3, Mark Sikosi and Daniel Menzies. Row 4, Jimmy Barr and Justin Dilt. And rounding out the top 10 is Alex Robinson and Josh Susi. So Brig Swope is coming into the Speed Demon Setups restart zone. And he will be the control car. Look at that beautiful DraftKings machine. As we fire, we're back to green. Tyler Rush challenging up on the outside. Same with a mangled Tyler Isley, who is looking for third on the track. Can't clear yet off of turn number 2. They're going to work. Oh, he locked them up into 3. Here comes Sikosi, nearly gets into him. Oh, there's a bump.
He does get into him, man.
We got some feisty drivers out here tonight.
Just not wanting to wait. He's like, man, get out of my way.
Absolutely.
I got a race to win.
Yeah. Here comes to the inside. Josh Susi tries to slide up on Menzies off the corner. And Menzies goes up to P2. P7.
It's probably not going to take too long for Susi to get up there to P2, though.
Yeah.
To be honest, those new tires.
Absolutely.
He's done a really good job here, being mired back in traffic. The stage restart, not getting into anything, and just keeping the stuff clean. And you know, it's showing. I mean, had a big wiggle there until how loose they're set up.
Yeah, the drivers we should mention that did pit include Josh Susi, Alan Crowell, Jeff Cox, Landon Lacey, Dylan Clark, Brian Preslar. Nope, excuse me, Preslar, David Salter and company. Those are amongst the notables that came in. Swope with a good lead, though. 0.6 of a second on Ryan Broderick. And pretty cool seeing DraftKings on the car. And it's really happy for me to see these guys leading. And some pretty cool news last weekend. Sports betting was legalized in the state of New York.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of New York, guess what? That's where we're going next week. We are heading Watkins Glen, my hometown. That should be a fun one. It's the 200 at the Glen, the unnamed 200 at the Glen at 8:45 p.m. Twitch.tv/Marty Sakala and the National Sim Racing League Facebook page. See Mark Sikosi making the pass stick on Tyler Isley for 4th spot on the track, now trying to hunt down the drivers in 2nd and 3rd. Isley trying to get something to work on the bottom on the exit, but nothing at all. Here's the onboard from the rear end of Sikosi. It seems like Sikosi is so much better on the entrance, Ashton, but Isley is better on the exits.
Yeah, it's just a product of flat tracks. You're either going to be really good on entry or really good on exit. I always found my cars were good entry, good middle, and then exit kind of poor here. Never really worked out too well for me, sadly. But you just kind of have to find that balance, find what works for you, what's going to make you the most time, and he's got it hooked up pretty well right now. Making a pass for P3, it's pretty big.
Yeah, Rush had a bad exit off of turn number 2. Was really tight. That allows Sikosi to take advantage and take away the 3rd spot on the track. Back and forth, they're going at it though for P3.
Yeah, Tyler's got that outside. He's able to kind of, not pinching him, but he's able to keep him in the unpreferred lane, being there middle bottom. So he's able to get a pretty good entry and really get that run off that he needs, kind of put Mark where he wants him. So it's gonna be fairly difficult for Mark to make this pass.
Isley and Susie are trying to make this a 4-man show in the entry of the corners for 3rd position. There goes Susie as he looks underneath on the fresher tires by about 5 laps. Takes away 5th position. Remember, drivers have... Oh, problem with Briggs Swope. Something happened with Briggs Swope, and he just lost the lead. All the way back to 4th, the number 7 goes. And that puts Ryan Broderick up front. Let's listen back in here. Oh, that's from Broderick's onboard. Swope almost spun it out. Off of turn 2. And he's in the wall.
And he just had the throttle down a little bit too early and got himself really messed up on exit. It's what we've been talking about. It's very easy for that to happen.
Caution flag is out, and Brian Wiggins has spun it on the back straightaway. And I believe what was our longest green flag run of the evening. And that was a fun green flag run to watch here, Ashton. And let's take a look and see what happened with Brian here off of 2. And he loses it off the corner, and the passes with the rear wheels on track leads to the caution. But Wiggins doesn't hit anything, thank goodness.
Yeah, it was another one of those situations just a little bit early on in the exit phase. A little bit too much gas, got a little bit too free, and without the side force, pretty hard for him to hang on to that, but did a good job not really hitting anything.
Couple of drivers come in. Ryan Broderick leads them in after leading a lap. Briggs Swope, Jimmy Barr, Landon Lacey also make their way down pit road. So leading for the first time today is Tyler Rush in the 27. Mark Sikosi, Josh Susie, Tyler Isley, and Daniel Menzies will make up the top 5 as select drivers pit. Excuse me, we're going to step aside here, take a break, and when we come back, we will have the restart from New Hampshire.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
1 lap to go until we take the green flag. 62 laps are complete from the Magic Mile of New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Marty Sakala alongside former NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series driver Ashton Crowder with you on the call, who has 6 wins and 6 starts to his mantle this season with the National Sim Racing League. After 8 yellows, we are set to go back to the green flag. It is Tyler Rush, the race leader. He selects the outside lane along with Mark Sikosi on row number 1. Tyler Isley in 3rd position, in 4th position outside, and Josh Susi in 3rd on fresh tires. Dylan Clark on the outside in 6th. Daniel Menzies inside of row number 3. Brian Preslar, Jeffrey Cox, David Salter, Alan Crowell round out the top 10. Rush is the control car in the Speed Demon Setups restart zone, and he fires it. We're back to green, and Sikosi is caught sleeping. Isley wants 2nd.
I feel like they made a little bit of contact on that initial start there.
I'm not too sure, but it's the Tyler and Tyler show off of turn 2. Isley wants the lead away from Rush down the back straightaway. Nothing he can do about it. Rush promoting his Twitch right now for us for his onboard camera. Here comes Sikosi wanting 2nd spot all the way down to the inside. 2nd groove. Isley went up about a half a groove. Could open the door for Dylan Clark for 2nd spot off of turn 4.
That's an aggressive move from Mark there. He's going to throw it in real hard down here in 1 and 2, and he's going to make it work.
Top 3 pitted on lap 41, 4th and 5th pitted on lap 46. Oh man, that got close between Isley and Clark. Here comes the Road American winner to the inside. And Sikosi wants the lead from Rush. Nearly got him in the door. Oh, but a great apex. Great center by Sikosi. New leader at New Hampshire.
I mean, Mark's car right now is just absolutely hooked up. He works really hard on his race cars, gets them the way that he wants them, and man, it's showing right now. He's got it hooked up.
Oh
everywhere.
man, Rush got way loose off of turn 2. A little bit too much throttle in it and caught the slide. Here comes Clark trying to go around the outside, and Rush on the outbreak, and he's on the wall. Tyler Rush tried to play the mind games, and he got outbreak. He outbroke the other driver, but too much brake. Locked him up and put it in the wall.
Yeah, I don't really know what the goal was there, that move, but if he achieved what he wanted to, then go on him, but a bit too early for that, I feel like.
Absolutely, 100%. That puts him back to 4th for right now, maybe even 5th if Tyler Isley can make this pass. Rush, though, we'll mention here, is the biggest mover in the race, start from 20th of the 24 car field, and he is up to 4th position. Let's talk about Mark Sikosi. Wow, we're at it. Only 1 win this season. That came at Myrtle Beach. The last few races, he has come oh so close to getting that 2nd win of the season. Put the bumper on Landon Lacey in the final corners at Worldwide Technology Raceway last week and almost took the win. As we got reports, Alex Robinson went off the track, but no harm, no foul. Back to Sikosi here, Ashton.
Yeah, he's putting it together right now. He's putting together some really good corners. He's building the gap little by little. He's not too incredibly faster than 2nd place. This is by a 10th. It's going to be really interesting to see later in this run if that advantage kind of goes away. But right now, I mean, he's getting everything he wants, really.
And there is a problem with Alex Robinson. You see the replay. He did spin it out twice. And I think that puts him, he's not a lap down just yet, but 24 seconds off the pace. He's just about 6 seconds away from going from a lap down. Right now, though, I think he would be the first driver to get the free pass at the moment. Meanwhile, a smorgasbord happening on track with Tyler Rush, Ryan Broderick, Daniel Menzies, Jeffrey Cox, and Brake Swope. There goes Broderick down to the inside. Battle for 5th is on. A nice pass for Broderick, but oh boy! He washed Rush off the track by like 3 grooves, and Broderick, can he save it? Oh, there he goes! Around he goes and pounds the inside guardrail. I think
Man,
he just got too aggressive, Ashton.
Yeah, that's what we call instant karma right there. He pushed really way too hard, pushed Tyler up the track, I think it was, and instantly got karma'd for that and got sent around.
Tough break
typically
for
how it goes.
Cox as well. Did turn Broderick in the assist. And you see that he's got some front-end damage to the driver of the number 45, making his debut with the series tonight.
Yeah, Jeffrey got a little bit sketched out off of 2 there. I feel like didn't really know where he was gonna go and just kind of slapped him a little bit. We'll say. It's one of those deals where when they're tank slapping like that, you don't really know where they're gonna end up. So you kind of just have to guess correctly, and if you don't guess correctly, then make some contact, and just one of those racing deals, as we call it.
Briggs Swope wants a piece of Daniel Menzies. He's got the preferred groove on the exit. It's a drag race down the front straight for 6th.
Interesting to see if Brigg will put a little slide. Well, no, he's not. He's going to get let by Menzies there. That was really respectful. Love to see that. That's something that's kind of lost in today's NASCAR racing. People don't really let each other go all that often. It's kind of sad. If somebody's faster than me, I usually try to let them go, but sometimes you go, well, it's worth it for me to just be a jerk to him and not let him by. And
Trouble, Jeffrey Cox in the number 45, and that brings the caution out for the 9th time today.
Yeah, same thing that happened to Broderick happened to him there. Just really late exit, started getting straight, but still had some wheel into it and unloaded and spun right on around.
He tried to save it, and oh man, he did. Nice job from Cox to keep it off the wall. He'll go to the pits though to repair that optional end on the front side. Let's ride on board here with Jeffrey as he makes his debut tonight.
Yeah, that was a really good save. Once these cars start going around, it's pretty hard to keep them in a forward manner. But he did a really good job at keeping that thing straight, keeping it out of the wall.
If you listened closely, by the way, when the car was going towards the wall, he put throttle in it. Just not too much. Just a little bit of throttle, enough where he could wheel it back around. So that's great driving by Jeffrey Cox, and as of right now, he is making his way down pit road, and I think the leader is in as well. Mark Sikosi, he is, so you will see his stop.
Yeah, it's really interesting. The real life guys, once they start getting, well, a lot of them anyways, once they start getting too out of control, they'll actually stomp on the brakes, and you lose all control off of that, and you just go sliding. And that's something that the sim guys have figured out really well, is how to keep that from occurring.
Nice stop from Sikosi as the top 6 stay out here. So Josh Susi is the race leader. Now here is the thing. As we come back to the green flag, he has 30 lap worn tires. Compared to Sikosi, this is big for the 91. And there is time left. When we come to green, I think it will be 12 to go in the stage.
Yeah, they don't have much time left, let me tell you. Susi's in a really good position right now. Probably going to get another stage win here if it all works out for him. But Sikosi doesn't have too much ground to gain up, and he's also not having to worry about, being nice to teammates or anything. So it's gonna be pretty exciting.
Absolutely. So we have fun ending to the stage as we see, I believe, the lap cars come in. Briggs Swope has made his way back up to second spot after losing control off of turn 2. Should be getting the 1 lap to green this time. So 1 lap to green. And we will get ready to go. Josh Susi, the race leader, selects the outside line. So it's Susi and Swope on the front row. Row number 2 is Jimmy Barr and David Smeal Jr. Row 3, Caleb McCarthy and Mark Sikosi. Sikosi, the first one on fresh tires. Row 4 is Dylan Clark and Tyler Isley. And row 5 is Landon Lacey and Brian Preslar. Yet to talk about Preslar yet today, currently in row number 5. Remember, he was the only driver that came out of Worldwide Technology Raceway with 0x.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Susi ready to fire. Back to green. He got Swope sleeping big time. I think Swope hit the snooze button when his alarm went off at the hotel.
Definitely didn't get the wake-up call. They're really liking that outside lane, the grip that's giving them and the launch that they can get there. You know, it's, I don't know if it's down to rubber being up there or what, but man, they really get a jump on that top lane.
So Mark Sikosi, after the restart, has made his way up back to 4th position. Jimmy Barr 6th as McCarthy lets Dylan Clark go by and take away the position. Here comes Landon Lacey on the bottom, looking for that spot with 10 to go in stage number 2. Here we go for 3rd, and Swope lets Sikosi make the pass go through. Oh, he shuts the door on Swope up on the outside, and Sikosi looks to pass Smeal top shelf, and he does.
I mean, that was a big boy move there from Mark Sikosi. I mean, I probably wouldn't have done that. Maybe I would have. I don't know. It was very tight though. Made it work. That was a 2-for-1. It's a BOGO. I think they call that at maybe it's Kmart or something like that.
I call it a 2-for-1 discount at the local grocery store.
That's right. Reminds me of Landon Harrison at Darlington back in the day.
Oh, trouble behind them. We've got a big crash, and that is in turn number 2. And that is Stan Mayberry and Josh Aaron. Mayberry has lost the hood of the car. That is our 10th yellow of the evening, and we are hearing Josh Aaron got a piece of the accident too. So let's go to the replay and see what happened. And that was just as Sikosi was about to make a pass for the lead.
Yeah, it looks like Thomas
Para
Para was pushed a little bit. Yeah, got into his left rear and sent him up the track. It's a lot easier for that to happen than it may seem.
Aaron with nowhere to go. Let's watch from the rear end of Mayberry here. Pretty much just like when Tyler Isley got into Broderick at the ending of stage 1. Let's go to Josh Aaron.
No, it's so easy for guys to make contact with each other, especially in these cars. You don't really get the feeling of like the aero and stuff that they have just watching it, but honestly, it's a lot harder to keep the car clean than anything else.
I'm trying to find something here. We may have to rewind it, but did you see Aaron when he made contact with the 5 of Broderick? That helped Broderick actually miss the crash. I'm not joking. Watch this.
Let's see. Yeah, it did. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he gave him a little nudge there, and he got right on through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
so
amazing.
we are checking to see if this is staged. Let me pull. Give me 1 second. I don't think this will be stage number 2, but what I am going to do is pulling Lynn. Chris, just to make sure, will we have a couple laps to go in the stage?
Correct.
Okay, perfect. We're just making sure. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Welcome.
So I think we'll have 4 to go in the stage when we come back to the green flag. Do you think that too, Ashton?
Yeah, they'll definitely have 3 or 4 laps. It's gonna be a party out there for the lead for sure. I feel like Mark won't have too hard of a time getting the lead here, but if Susie wants to make it hard on him, he definitely is gonna be able to.
Mark's about to hit the easy button right here, I think. Landon Lacey, after getting involved in that scrimmage with Robbie Bice earlier in the race, he is in 6th position, and him and Dylan Clark each have 16 laps of fresher tires compared to Briggs Swope and David Smeal Jr. I think they have a good chance to take 3rd and 4th here before the end of stage 2.
It's all the tire game, isn't it?
Absolutely.
When can you have new tires at the right time, and when is it going to help you? Susie, for some reason, takes the bottom here.
That's interesting. We've seen a lot of drivers today take the top.
Yeah, I don't know what the mindset is on that one. No, it kind of sounds like armchair quarterback saying that. But we've had so much success on the top, don't really know why you'd go on the bottom. He doesn't have a teammate behind him either.
No,
So
you're right.
It's definitely interesting.
So it's Susie and Sikosi row 1, Smeal and Swope row 2, Lacey and Clark row 3, Rush and Barr row 4, and row 5 is Isley and Preslar. So 4 laps to go in the stage. We should expect Susie to fire as early as possible once he crosses that line, which is right there, and he goes, and yes, Sikosi caught sleeping big time. But you know what Sikosi's thinking? Yeah, I'll just let him take it. I'll get by in a couple laps.
Well, looking at that right there, I don't really think the lanes matter anymore.
Absolutely. Here comes
What
Swope.
about so much?
Yeah, Swope looking for 3rd on Smeal. Clark tucks back in line. Same with Lacey. 53 was able to pass Clark there. And Lacey trying to go around the outside. Smeal gets tight. Could be 3 wide off of 4. No. Swope takes 3rd. Smeal back to 4th, but Lacey wants it back. And here we go for the lead. Sikosi's inside. He's got it.
He's going to get him on exit here.
He's got it with 3 to go in the stage. He hits the easy button.
That was easy.
It's still even, though, down the back straightaway. Susie gets a good corner here. Might be
This
able
is
to put
going to
him down
be,
on the bottom.
you want the low line in 3 and 4, that's for sure. Pits are close to the line, 2 laps to go. Don't even count Briggs Swope out of this yet. He's on 16 laps of worn tires, and he is matching the pace of Sikosi at the moment. In fact, he was actually a 10th faster than Sikosi last lap.
This could be a heartbreak of stage points for Susie here if Swope gets by.
Absolutely. Susie on the defensive line as Swope enters high. Remember, Susie and Swope are on. Remember, Swope actually has 14 laps of fresher tires than Susie. As we're on the final lap of stage 2, Lacey wants 3rd on Swope. Dylan Clarkson 5th. And Lacey takes 3rd. Clark wants 4th, and I think we called this just like we would in our fantasy book lineups. But off of turn 4, it is Mark Sikosi that will take the stage win as we are under caution. And I think that is for the stage ending. Nope, we got a spin. Brian Wiggins has spun around along with Daniel Menzies. As that is a yellow to end stage number 2. That doesn't matter, though, as Mark Sikosi is taking the stage win. That comes just in time as the pace car comes out. So that is actually perfect timing for some of these drivers. So that way they come all the way around, and we'll have pit road open this time by.
Poor Kayla, though. That's another accident she got involved with there. She, Piled into that one pretty good, poor thing.
That's a bummer. And while we are at it, Sikosi, this is an interesting risk. He decides to stay out while everyone else comes in, except for Isley, Salter. I think Broderick's going to stay out here too because he pitted on 83. He does stay out, so top 4 will stay out. Maybe top 5. Yep, Crowell's staying out. This will get a little bit interesting.
Yeah, right here, Mark's really just saying, you know, I already used up a set of tires early. It's going to be worth it for me to just stay out here and relax and save them and just hope for a few quick yellows, or maybe he wants a long run so he can get back even on tires, but this is more a strategy call than anything.
This is what happened with Wiggins and Menzies, and this actually started ahead with Menzies in the 9. Let's see if we can go back and watch that same angle. Was there? Oh, he lost it all by himself. There's Cox that was involved. And then comes down into Wiggins. And I think Josh Aaron gets by. Nice. Let's ride on board with the 9. And there was a shot from Wiggins there. So Sikosi is your leader when we come back for our final stage here at New Hampshire. Stay with us. Alright, I am glad we are on commercial break because I need to see a dunk. RJ Barrett called game again for the Knicks. Okay, yeah, no worries.
Oh, huge stack up.
We're back and we are right on time. Sikosi holding serve on the restart as we begin stage number 3. Apologies as well for the hot mic. Oh! The leaders take each other out! Isley is involved, and here's the big one in New Hampshire! There's Smeal that is involved. Are you kidding me?
Race control. Is that the 2 outside cars getting together?
That's what
We're
we've been talking about all night, man. He comes off of turn 2, unloads, and instantly spins. Nothing he can do, and
This,
big calamity.
the entire complexion of this race just went on its axis. Like, the best drivers were involved. Josh Susie, Tyler Isley, Kayla McCarthy, Justin Dill. A lot of drivers taking evasive action as Sikosi comes up to Isley. Not sure. Didn't know if there was going to be any extracurricular activity as they catch up to each other. But man, oh man, let's take a look and see what brought out the yellow.
See, that's
That's
one
what
of the
Susie.
life-
Watch Susie first.
that's one of those life lesson moments, though, Sikosi and Isley there, because you know, that wasn't something that Tyler intentionally did. It was just a mistake, and one that's, you know, obviously very, very, very easy to make. It's just kind of how it goes in racing. You can't really get mad at the guy for it.
Let's watch the leaders from our aerial shot here. There, yeah, you said it right there. There was that stack up on the inside. Crowell, I think, was there along with Lacey and maybe even Briggs Swope. Now, as they go, it's on the exit, I think. Is it right here? Yeah. Look at that. Sikosi had a bad... Both of them had bad corners. One was about to go wide. One was about to spin out. And oh my goodness. What did we just witness? The first guy to make it through that wreck, by the way, is the man that won at Iowa, David Salter. Nowhere to go for Susie at all. Let's go to Isley here if we can gather his on board. Watch as this. Look at that. Watch this car. See, the rear end came out. It was about to spin as Sikosi was coming up. We'll show you marked here in a moment if we have it. And I think we do. Let's go to Kayla McCarthy next on the onboards. Been a rough night for her. Stomped on the brakes and missed it. Nice job from her. This is Dilts. Also in the back. Oh, almost had the lane and Isley's rear end cut it off. Let's go to Smeal here. Went to the low line to take. Oh, he had a missed, and then someone spun him and catches the tires. Now we've got something here with Sikosi, but we're going to have to rewind it. Watch this. See how the car just came up? That is just a racing deal. You're absolutely right, Ashton.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for sure, but kind of just have to take those punches when they come and try to regroup, move on, and figure out what your new game plan is going to be.
Well, this is a top 10 I don't think any of us have expected. Salter, Broderick, Clark, Crowell, Rush, your top 5, and we are back to green.
We still have 100 laps to go too, Marty. I mean, this thing is not even close.
Oh,
though.
man, I thought the leaders were going to take each other out again.
You know Broderick's going to be pushing hard right now. He sees clean air. He wants this win.
Oh, man, it's not over yet. Remember, Salter's got the preferred groove. May have the cleanest car of everyone right now. If not, maybe Dylan Clark, but Broderick nips him at the line. And we are halfway here, and he washes him up the track. Oh, this is getting good. Hello, Dylan Clark. Let's make this a 3-man crapshoot.
Yeah, Broderick's not going to be too happy with being pushed up there, that's for sure, but
Hey,
he cleared him down the back straightaway.
Yeah, he
so.
don't care. He's the leader at the moment, and here comes Dylan Clark looking for P2. Broderick trying to open up the lead just a touch. And Broderick a little bit tight in the corner. Tyler Rush also a part of this battle too. Oh, was that Salter that got loose off of 2? It was. That allows Rush to take 3rd. Here comes Clark looking for the lead.
Yeah, the KTS guys and Broderick have a pretty big rivalry here, so it's going to be interesting to see how hard Broderick races Clark.
Dylan Clark trying to find a clue like Blue does every night on Blue's Clues. Trouble, and it's Kayla McCarthy and Brig Swope who have tangled in turn 1. Dancing with the Stars would not approve of that way the tangle went for them. And McCarthy's night looks like it's done. Brig Swope's first accident of the evening. And we will go to a replay. Yes?
Yeah, Jeffrey just entered a little bit high there. Kayla wasn't expecting it. Hit her in the left rear and sent her around. Pretty typical New Hampshire crash.
I think that's a net code situation too. Man, that's a hard shot for both.
Yeah, that was about a...
Here is Kayla 316's on board.
About 110 to dead stop. That is not what you would like to see if this was real life.
Absolutely. Let's go to Brig Swope. And this is a tough break for him, a guy that in the second half likely could have had a chance of winning this race. Yep, that is a net code wreck. There was a big gap between McCarthy and Swope, so damn you iRacing. So pit stops continue to take place. Think about, Ashton, by the way, what this race would feel like right now if everyone had one quick repair.
It would be
It wouldn't be as dramatic.
No, it would be the same people that are usually up front.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the quick repair. Kind of get away with bad decisions and mistakes. So you know, having it where if you get damaged, you got damaged. There's nothing you can do. It puts the race on its toes a little bit, gets people working, and that's what you want to see out of this. Honestly, you want to see it hard for the drivers and make them really have to think. And I'd say by the end of this, whoever has relatively cleanest car is probably gonna have a really good shot at the win.
I'm going to bring in Lynn once again. Chris, we did this last week, by the way, Ashton, so we'll do this for fun. Who has the cleanest car right now in terms of incident rating? Who has 0x? Does anyone?
Nope, the lowest is 1. It's Tyler Rush with 1, Salter 4, Susie 4, Sakosi 4, Barr 4, Smeal 4.
So, Ashton, I think we're saying Tyler Rush has the best chance to win this race.
Oh, easily.
I'm going to take a guess who's got the most. Wiggins.
False.
I'm gonna guess Kayla.
It's Kayla.
Yeah,
man.
come on, guys.
21 for Kayla, 18 for Wiggins.
Okay, so I was close then. Okay. All right. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
Oh no, I'm gonna get a mean message after this. For that comment. I was just going by off the time she kind of like bumped somebody, like getting through a wreck. Not that I think she's sturdy. I just wanted to put that one out there, but I got it right, and you know, hate that for all y'all.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Just looking at the top 5 though. I mean, it's definitely shaken up a little bit.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
But I mean, it's still guys up there that you know would be up there. You got Broderick, you got Clark. Say Rush. You started from the back though, and Preslar started from the back too, and then Landon Lacey. I mean, he started on pole by an absolute country mile. So we still got a really good race going on here, and you know, it'd be a mistake if thought it was luck based.
We got Taylor asking no quick repairs. That is about time. Yeah, absolutely. Joseph Thomas says, glad to see Preslar make it through the big one, driving a good race. So here we go. Broderick, Clark, Preslar, Rush, and Lacey make up the top 5. Here we go. Back to... Oh, man, Clark with a big checkup. That is like oversleeping and getting to work late.
It's almost like you missed a shift a little bit there. Just kind of hung it on the chip. But no harm, no foul. Just lost a little bit of ground, but looks like he's going to get back to P2 pretty easily here, and he will maybe. I think he will. Yeah, he will.
Possibly. Brian Preslar, gotta give him credit, up in 3rd position. And look who is in 6th spot. I love this. Tom Pera is running in P6, folks. Made it through the big one that took place, and he is oh no! That's Clark! Clark spins from 2nd position! What the heck is happening?
They're just being a little bit impatient right now, man. It's short track racing, so they're gonna have a little bit of bumping and banging, but kind of just gotta.
Oh, there was contact from Preslar. Ooh, and he just pulled a Broderick. Let's show the onboard here, and then we're gonna pause it. Oh, he did catch it. He did catch it. Rewind it again. He did catch the wall, but just nipped it right there. Look at that. Up there on the safer barrier. And we're under caution for the 14th time this evening. I told you this race would feel like Gateway last week, didn't I?
You did. And from what I've been told, it definitely is a split image of that. So,
Absolutely.
It's been pretty hard on these guys. Having those 2 tracks back to back too, it gets pretty mentally draining.
That's for sure. Next week we are at Watkins Glen. Hopefully we won't see a lot of wrecks like that, but we will definitely be seeing the better drivers come on out, especially with there being no yellows. Free pass goes to the 99 of Stan Mayberry, I believe it is. And that is what we're hearing. Take this opportunity to take a chance and thank our sponsors. Without them, none of this is possible. First off, Speed Demon Setups, Graphics and TV, Affordable SEO and Marketing, Elevate Outdoors, and Butt Kicker. Top 12 drivers did not pit. Dylan Clark pitted for 4 tires. And I think we're good to go back to green flag. Should be 1 lap to green. Alan Crowell now makes his way into pit road.
With how many cautions there are thus far, I don't even really know if you'd want to pit to the end here. Kind of strange to say, but I really don't think it'd be worth it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure either. So why don't we listen to some chatter while we're at it.
Cool. Race control, did we get anything back on that restart?
Ah, listen to this. That'd be interesting.
Leader taking hot.
Alrighty.
Ryan, just come over this channel and I'll announce it.
So Ryan Broderick takes the outside line with Landon Lacey up in 2nd position. How about Lacey? Nice recovery from him tonight so far, right in 2nd spot. Row number 2 is Tyler Rush and Tom Pera. Row 3, Justin Dilton, David Spiel Jr. Row 4, I think is David Smeal, and is that Jeffrey Cox? Yes, it is. And then I see Josh Susi and Alex Robinson up there too. So we know Broderick, he's going to fire as early as possible for this restart. Here we come
Me and
to the
Landon
speed.
have that rivalry going on, so we gotta watch that one.
Trying to play some tactics there on the restart. We go once again and clears him at the start-finish line into turn 1. Does Lacey cut down? Yes, he does, in front of Lacey. Broderick continues with the advantage. And Lacey tries to look to the inside. Last week's winner. Wanted to look for a 2-piece. He's got the preferred line in 3 and 4. I think he can clear him here. Not just yet, but Lacey leads at the line. And Broderick backs out. Watch out for Tyler Rush in the 27. Cleanest car at the moment. Only 1X in this race. Behind them, Justin Diltz wants 3rd on Tom Para. Josh Zusi also back up into the mix after getting involved in that big one. Zusi's up to 5th, Diltz is 4th. Go ahead, Ashton.
Yeah, this is where if you're Landon, you just want the race to go green here and keep that tire advantage as long as you can. Trends of the race, though, hasn't really been going that way, but one can hope.
Absolutely. Here we go. Rush wants 2nd on Broderick. Again, preferred line in the corners. And he's got it. Tyler Rush takes away 2nd position. Now let's check and see if he can close in on Lacey. The gap is 0.6 of a second. Justin Diltz just hit his personal best today at a 30.96, running in the 5th position as we got a couple of cars stacked up. Dylan Clark trying to rebound from his spin is running in 7th position. Mark Sikosi has made his way back up into 6th.
See, with everyone having damage, it's kind of running the race back to how it was at the start because everybody's pretty much on an even playing field. So any aero disadvantages are kind of thrown out the window.
Remember, Diltz was involved in that 2nd yellow of the day, and we thought he was done for the evening because that front end looks like a modified, and he is in 5th position. Meanwhile, a battle for 3rd. Sutsy and Broderick, history from last week, and Sutsy banging doors, and he's up to 3rd.
Yeah, I don't really know what the point was about that from Broderick. I guess just trying to prove a point or something, but he gave up about 6 or 7 tenths doing that, and didn't really help anybody.
We
So.
timed in a little bit too late on the radio of Broderick. As we look behind them, Dylan Clark is up into 5th position from the spin, and he has got fresher tires. Same with Zusi compared to Lacey Rush and Broderick. Lacey Rush and Broderick pitted on laps 96, 91, and 83 respectively. Zusi and Clark, lap 110. And Zusi is all over Tyler Rush's spoiler for 2nd position and is faster than Landon Lacey. Rush slower than Lacey at the moment, has increased it to 2:10 since we last talked about that gap, and there he goes. Zusi drives it in. And this should work out for the number 12, and it does. Rush may have clipped the wall for just a moment, but Zusi pulls away. He's up to 2nd. Behind them,
easy.
Yeah, behind them, Dylan Clark. Slide jobs for 4th as Broderick tries to... Oh, there goes Broderick. Loses control. How does Sikosi miss it? You won't believe that, how Sikosi made his way through. Watch this, folks. This was absolutely crazy. He just... Oh, my goodness. He just filled the gap in time. Broderick was just about to go down low and come right into Sikosi and would have ended both of their nights. So Broderick is back to 11th. Mark Sikosi is up to 5th, and his first plans for after the race include a change of underwear.
Good call. Very solid.
Let's go behind them and go back to midfield here. Tyler Isley trying to get Jeffrey Cox for 9th position. This is the closest battle on track, along with David Smeal and Jimmy Barr. Barr's got a nose underneath. Has to tuck it back. 5 cars
it's
all
a-
single file. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a battle back here, man. I'm telling you. Dilts and see Smeal. They're going at it back here.
This battle with damaged cars makes you think it looks like the 24 hours of lemons.
Oh no. Yeah, that's a pretty big time race. I don't know how those cars make it 24 hours. I really don't.
Same.
But they do. You know, that's a testament to all the teams out there running their $500 cars. I feel like that might be a rule for them. But yeah, I mean, they're pretty much just making do with what they got, doing the best they can with what they got. If you don't have a front bumper or anything like that, your car isn't really going to be efficient anymore. So you just kind of have to suck it up and just deal with it and go with the flow, and run really well. Not having front bumpers back here.
There's the last 5 laps between Susie and Lacey. 0.3 of a second. Susie actually just took the race lead away from Landon Lacey. Made that look easy. Like literally just passed him like. Trying to think how you call it, like a bat out of hell, I think you would say. Let's watch the replay on this pass. This was going into turn 1. Oh, Lacey just let him go. Remember, they're teammates, and Lacey just said, Josh, go by.
Yeah, Josh has a lot more fresher tires, so he's got a big advantage there. Probably not as big as what it looks like on the timing, but probably around 10 laps, but that's more than enough to give you a pretty significant advantage, especially around here, with being so flat.
Absolutely. Trouble behind them. Alex Robinson has crashed off at turn 4. Tow that thing. We don't want another yellow. Tow it. Tow it. No! Freaking Robinson, man. Come on, man. We wanted a long run.
Well, that's going to put these leaders on even tires, and
Yep.
we're really going to see what the performance is, so it could be a blessing in disguise here. Reset the strategy. You know, there could be a lot of good that comes from this. Maybe not. Would have liked to keep the long run going, but there's always positives.
Turn 4 has been Robinson's nightmare today. Currently running in the 15th position, and he will not get the free pass because he was involved in the wreck and was part of triggering the yellow, as everybody is in the pits.
Yeah, poor Alex. He's from Pennsylvania.
Yep.
Shout out PA Posse. But you know, that's just how it goes sometimes, man. From Pennsylvania, things don't always go 100% for you.
Listen to this. Top 2 stay out. That will be interesting as we watch Lacey stop. Susie not far behind either. You can watch them simultaneously. Oh, Lacey's going to beat Susie out because of the less optional he had. I don't even think he had any optional. Then it's Tyler Rush, Dylan Clark. Then it's Josh Susie. Or you know what? May have been Jimmy Barr. No, Jeffrey Cox got out in front. Same with David Smeal. Top 2 stay out. Top 3. Nope. Top 4 stay out as we get ready to go back to green. Mark Sikosi leads them. We take a quick break. Stay with us from New Hampshire. As hang on, we'll stay with you. Sikosi now makes his way into the pits. Isley stays out with no front end. As Parra comes in, so the top 2 are going to stay out. Yep, Isley and Crowell. We will have a modified front row when we come back. Stay with us.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Back to green right on time. Isley fires it on the modified front row.
Yeah, Tyler Isley fast off the line like Braxton Burmeister.
Here
It's got
comes
that top
Lacey.
speed.
Lacey on fresh tires, up to second immediately. Wants to take the race lead. There he goes, looking to the inside. Lacey's got it. Bing bong to the point.
Oh my gosh. Can't believe you just said that. All right. Anyways, yeah, that was pretty straightforward for Landon there. Had the fresh tires, great track position already, straight to the point. It's gonna run away from.
Oh, big crash behind them. Susie, Broderick, Para's involved. I see Preslar. There is one stopped, and that is Stilts.
I think he was going to cut low. My car.
Yeah, Ryan just tried to push hard in there. Diltz was kind of coming down the track, met in the middle.
Heavy damage to the 19, by the way.
Yeah, and then Susie just spun out on the bottom kind of the same way that Kayla did earlier. He didn't really get much damage. But it makes you think, though. I think he pretty much took all of his optional on that last pit stop, but it put him back in a very vulnerable position. So
And
it'll be interesting to hear why he took that chance.
this will end the night of Justin Dilts for sure, and we will definitely be seeing a lot of drivers get either points deductions or maybe even suspensions with the way the wrecks have been going on tonight. Let's go from that same camera angle we were watching and just go to Josh Susie here. He sent it in and lost control, trying to take evasive action, and just catches Tom Para on the 16. We'll watch a couple of onboards here, and we'll watch the first one from Justin Dilts. Watch Broderick in the 5. Now you don't see him. Now you do. Surprise. And let's watch the other angle of the Spectrum, Ryan Broderick. Just like what happened with Tyler Isley. Oh no, Dilts may have come down when you watch it like that. Here's Preslar. He is going to have nowhere to go right there. After a picture-perfect clean race last week, Brian Preslar has a lot of damage. Here's Josh Susie. Yeah, go ahead.
That's pretty much going to be it for Broderick, sadly. He just went a lap down. Don't know if he's going to try to come back out. He actually has a black flag for some reason. Maybe X-related?
That probably is. Remember, there is a rule in the National Sim Racing League, and I'll bring this up here on the rule books momentarily. As we take a look, I'm going to bring this up right now. Normally we don't bring up the rules here for you, but tonight we will.
That's right.
So
Making you put in some work.
actually, it doesn't say it on the website, I'm sorry, but this was a rule that changed in the middle of the season. I'm going to try and see if I can bring that up.
It is 17 X's. You get a pretty much a 1 lap penalty.
Yes.
Looking at it here.
Yes. And I think every 17X is a 1X in terms of the penalties, and if you have 3 of those big X's, it leads to a 1-race suspension. All right. Let's try this again. 16th yellow of the race here at New Hampshire. We'll put 137 up on the board. This time, Landon Lacey, Dylan Clark, the front row, perhaps the 2 drivers that deserve to win this race right now, the deserving top 3. Tyler Rush, David Spiel Jr. row 2, Jimmy Barr, Alan Crowell row 3, Mark Sikosi, Brian Preslar in row 4, and then it's Tyler Isley 9th, and we don't know who is in 10th based off the grid. Lacey on the inside, we're back to green.
Another great restart from Landon there. Just gonna fill right on out, go up to that high line and start trying to motor away a little bit.
Give you a fun fact as well. We have had 3 straight first-time winners this season in the National Sim Racing League, and Lacey looks to end it tonight. Same with Dylan Clark, who won 2 weeks ago at Road America. Everyone staying single file at the moment. Isley trying to find a way down to the bottom of the track. And Jeffrey Cox, we are hearing, is in the pits. And that may be a drive-through penalty. But it's very clean at the moment. Let's go mid-pack here. As Tyler Isley makes a pass up on the outside on Alan Crowell. Takes away the 7th spot. Up front, it's Jimmy Barr inside on Mark Sikosi for 5th position. We're trying to catch up to David Smeal and Tyler Rush. Big credit to Tyler Rush, by the way. Biggest mover of the race, started from 20th. He is currently up to 3rd.
Yeah, Tyler's been doing a heck of a job. He's just run a clean race, a smooth race. And, I mean, it's definitely showing. He has virtually no damage on his car compared to most everybody else. And, you know, he's running P3 right now to 2 really, really fast cars.
Sikosi trying to fight back on Jimmy Barr for 5th position. Sikosi running 30.68 with a damaged car compared to the leader, 30.32. What just happened with Jimmy Barr right there? He just slid up and cut off David Smeal Jr. So an update, by the way. Sorry, update, by the way, on Rush. He still only has 1X.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's what we like to see, though.
Absolutely.
Keeping it nice and clean. And he's run faster lap times than leader Landon Lacey right now. And say that's from not having a ton of damage.
Kayla
Landon's
McCarthy.
in the
Yeah.
lead. Landon's in the lead, but I mean, his car is pretty smashed up. That's the big thing.
Dylan Clark, let's check the last 5 laps between the top 2. Clark's had the advantage in 3 of the last 5, but now it is Landon Lacey currently by just about a hair. This could get interesting in the final laps between the 2 most recent winners of the season. Why don't we bring up the time delta from the last 10 laps if we do have it. There we go. You see how the gap has looked. These last 10 laps, Clark has cut it down from 7/10 to 3/10, and Dylan Clark is there. The battle for the lead is on.
Yeah, Clark's just got to keep it consistent. He's running a lower line than Lacey is. Going to be a little bit easier on his tires. He's not going to be able to run as fast running lower, but keeping it nice and tucked in. Well, he ran a little bit higher there, so I lied. But before that he was, and that's only going to help you. So as this run goes on, we'll see if he has a better drive off than Landon, or if it works the other way around and Landon keeps that drive and pulls back away again.
Behind them, Sikosi looking on Smeal for 5th position on the track. I know Sikosi's got to be frustrated on his performance. He feels like he could have had a car that would have won the race, but it's starting to fade away from him once again. Jimmy Barr in front of the drivers. Oh, there's a touch! Oh, boy, that got close. Sikosi giving it everything he's throwing out at the kitchen sink. And he got the quarter panel this time.
I want to fucking out lead.
Yeah, now Mark's just getting frustrated. He's trying to really do anything he can. But
And here
at
comes
this point-
Isley and Susie. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, at this point he's just starting to give up lap time, but Now I should have a pretty straightforward pass into one here.
Low line is where you want to be in the corners. Here comes Susie, and he almost took Smeal with him. Some of these drivers that recently pitted for fresher tires trying to make their way back up there. We saw Sikosi make his way back up. Same with Susie, Isley, Crowell, Preslar. They all pitted. Top 4 all stayed out and pitted on lap 128.